Hi, I'm Matt Burns. Today is May 15th, 2025. Yesterday was my birthday, and I've been trying to journal a bunch lately, and today was just like a foggy day. Not that I had a really wild birthday. It was a Wednesday, so I didn't want to get too crazy, and I don't really get too crazy much anymore anyways. But I just wrote down a couple things and I thought I would mention them. First thing I did today when I got to work and started doing work stuff is I had saved this album that my friend had sent me, a lifelong friend, and he's got a pretty good taste in music, so I thought I would listen to it, and I didn't actually really want to listen to it at the time, and just based on the way the picture looked, I thought it was going to be a really different vibe. The album's called The Crux by a guy named Joe, D-J-O. Not sure if that's how it's pronounced, but I realized that it's the guy from, I think he's from Stranger Things, and I think he was the lifeguard. But yeah, anyways, I listened to his music, and I was not expecting what I heard. What I heard was a lot of sound that sounded like 2010s and 2000s alternative rock, and mixed with some other stuff. It was pretty wide span of sounds and good instrumentation and stuff, and it was real music. Not that all of today's music is not real music, but it was way more instruments than I thought, way more singing than I thought, and way more just skill on the instrumentation specifically than I was expecting. Yeah, and that album was really cool. Listened to it for an hour while I was doing certain work stuff, and it just breezed me right by. But it's definitely going to be an album I'm going to keep playing, and I'm probably going to play it many times. I tend to listen to an album and burn it out for sometimes a year or more. Sometimes I'll fall asleep to the same album for years. So I tend to not listen to a ton of albums, but the ones I do, I'll listen to for forever, maybe a whole season or something, and listen to it every day. So anyways, it just kind of made me think. I was yesterday, like I said, was my birthday, and I just feel like there are always benchmarks in time, especially, I live in the Midwest, and the Four Seasons, I feel like you always have this benchmark in time where new things are happening, new possibilities are outside. The way the world feels changes every day. But one of the benchmarks that I always have in time is music and the albums that I'm listening to, as I'm sure many people do with specific songs or whatever it might be. But I realized, in concert with other things that I've been doing with my life lately, I feel that it's hard when you fall into routines and patterns, especially as you get older, to stay super alert and aware and responding to things in your environment at all times, and responding to what's actually around you and seeing things for as they are. But when you hear something, especially that you're not expecting to be a certain way, and you hear it and you're intrigued by it or entranced by it, I feel like it kind of wakes you up and shakes up whatever the preconceived notions you had are, and helps you sort of lock into, hey, this is actually what's going on in this world in front of me right now. I think that's probably one of the best things about music and media in general. And they always seem to catch you at the right time, Like I said, yesterday was my birthday, and I'd been thinking a lot about my friends and my family, and I had spent time with people. I've just been thinking about friends and family a lot lately, especially as I get less time to see people and less time to enjoy with my friends and family. But when my friend sent me this album, I realized, as soon as he sent me that, and I listened to the whole thing, I was like, this album's going to make me think of you for the remainder of, my life, or probably my life. There's always songs that we would send each other, and I know, he made me a playlist on Spotify, and it was the playlist I listened to for probably my whole almost first year of college or something. So whenever I hear a song from that album or that playlist, I always think of him. And I just thought, he sent me that the day before my birthday. I listened to it on my birthday. or the day after my birthday. And it was my birthday before, and I was thinking about all these things, and it's a good way to wrap it up and sort of like, you know, put a bow on my thoughts and feelings about my friends and stuff I've been thinking about lately. It also breathes energy into life. Like, I don't know, I was just even when I'm talking right now, I feel just kind of sluggish. I don't know if it's a sleep thing, or like maybe my mind's been racing too much. Maybe I'm like grinding out this YouTube and schedule thing too much or something, or maybe I'm just not saving enough time for myself and things for myself, but I am just kind of run down. But it did super kick up my day and started me off on the right way for sure. Yeah, and it just serves as a benchmark in time. I'm sure I'll think back, somehow on rose-tinted glasses at this specific time in my life where I'm doing this exact thing, because it always seems that no matter what you're doing, you never anticipate this being the time you're looking back on, but you always end up looking back on it with that feeling that you never had when it was actually going on. So I'm sure I'll look back at this album in the same way. But that's pretty much it for me for today. I didn't do a whole lot. I did get things done, but it's not the kind of day I've been having or had wanted to have recently. But I also feel like I need to cut myself some slack. I've been kind of grinding things out, and yeah, I'm just trying to recover and make sure that I'm doing the right things and keeping on track and not just like stopping completely and falling off the wagon. So yeah, that's about it. May 15th, 2025. Hope it's a good one. Bye-bye.